Hi, Kim. Hi, Diane. Can you guys hear me?
I'm great. How are you?
Hi, good to see you guys. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing today?
Very good.
Good. Wow, you guys are early. We are starting at 4, but good to have you. By the way, how is Silver Club so far?
It's been going really great. I've got to had lots of opportunities to connect with a lot of great people at a bunch of different venues that I normally haven't been exploring. So I've been getting outside of my comfort zone and have really been able to kind of touch with a whole lot of other people. So it's been going well.
Oh, that's great. Good to hear. What about you, Kim? What about you, Debbie?
I have a big class coming up on Thursday, so I'm hopeful with that. And I have a lead I need to call back on, um, see if we can get a leadership position opened up. So that will be fun.
Great. And Debbie, can you hear us?
I can now. Sorry.
Yay. Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
How is Silver Club going so far?
Well, I wish I could say it's going better than what I would had expected, but that's okay. The first 2 weeks was a little rough. Um, my mom passed away in January and we
so
were
sorry.
dealing with, that's okay, having to get the house cleaned out. She was a hoarder. So last week took a lot of my energy doing that. We're done with that. So with that being said, I have a one-on-one scheduled for tomorrow with my I exercise. So my instructor, she has a studio. So I am really hoping to get her into the recent enrollment kits because she has the plugins, which are disgusting. We unplug them every day we go. Working on that, and then I want to get a couple classes. I probably won't be able to get them the end of this week, but maybe next week. I would love to do some in-home type classes, and I want to do a spa night. Is one thing I'm looking at so that we would be able to do kind of the aroma touch hand technique.
Oh,
So I
that's
would do
great.
that a couple times, so we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna work on getting, either two to three of those scheduled next week and end with a boom, I hope.
Yeah, that's great. So we are getting out of our comfort zone. We are doing events.
Yes.
We are doing aroma touch. That sounds great. You guys are doing amazing. And we have Carrie and Sarah. Hi, guys. And Madeline and Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
Who else? There is Carrie, Debbie, Sarah. Okay, so we are going to start in 5 minutes. We are starting at 4. Now, before we start, just so you guys know, um, let's start just introducing ourselves. Let's see who wants to tell us where are you from, what are you right now, and what you guys do, whatever you want to share. You guys want me to start calling names?
I'll go. I don't like the
Okay.
silence, so I'll chip in. I'm Kimberly Green. I live outside of Pittsburgh, about an hour. And I graduated Silver Club last time, so I'm off to a bit of a slower start this time. I had a death in the family in February, so I'm also kind of in recovery for that. But I'm hoping that the end of the month will look a lot better than the beginning of the month.
Well, good to have you here with us, Kim. And yeah, you are a Silver Club grad, so you have some experience in that area. Who else? Who wants to let us? Let's have Diane. Tell us about you.
So I'm Diane Frederick. I'm actually from about an hour north of Pittsburgh, so maybe somewhere near you, Kim. I by trade, I work as a nurse practitioner in urgent care, and I am a wife and a mom. I've got 3 little kids, 5 and under, so life is a little bit
Wow.
wild for us.
Wow.
Not a lot of downtime or breathing room. Work sometimes is a bit of a break. So I started building with doTERRA in November. So just kind of
Oh.
jumping in and
Oh.
trying to run with it in the, handful of days I have off because I work 8 12-hour days. So it's a busy time.
Yeah, that sounds super busy.
Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. But hey, you are here with us and you are doing Silver Club, huh? Just you're practically new
Good.
in doTERRA and you are already doing Silver Club. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, who else wants to let us know a little bit about
I
you?
will. I will. My name is Debbie Noe. I am from Ohio, Atwater, Ohio, which is about 45 minutes southeast of Cleveland. So I'm actually not far from Pittsburgh. I'm actually closer to Pittsburgh almost than I am Cleveland. I've been with doTERRA since 2016, and I've probably been a little stuck in a rut. Because I actually moved from Hilton Head, South Carolina. I was there for 20 years and just moved back to Ohio 3 years ago, to be closer to my family because my parents' health was bad and my sister needed my help with them. And I have 2 grandchildren who are teenagers. One's 18 and one is 15. I live right across the street from them. So I thought it was going to be easier when they got older. It's not.
Ah,
It's a lot harder as they get teenagers. So I'm just really hoping to get my doTERRA business. Oh, I've been stuck a little bit because I was 20 years in Hilton Head and then moved up here. So I kind of lost, my support team, so to speak. I do have people up here, just don't have my builders with me. My builders are all in South Carolina. So I just kind of try to do a lot with social media right now I have a business Facebook page to try to keep that going. So I'm hoping Silver Club will really, kick in for me.
yes. Yeah. Wow, you have been with
Mm.
doTERRA for a while, huh?
Yes.
That's
And
great.
I've gone every year to convention, absolutely love it. I've gone to leadership the last 3 years, absolutely love it. Leadership just this last few weeks, a couple weeks ago, was awesome. It was one of the best ones I've been to.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, let's see how many people we have. Wow, we have 27 people. That's great. Okay, we have 1 more minute. Let's wait just for 1 minute or even less than 1 minute. And we will start. We have a guest with us today from corporate. I don't know if you guys know Mike Allen. Mike is amazing. You guys can ask him whatever you want about business. About the doTERRA business, he is just great. So he is assigned to our region. So I'm glad we have him with us today. And okay, let's start with this. I just, before anything, well, let me share my screen first. And I think it's this one, maybe. Sorry, guys, give me just a second. Okay. Okay, so I decided to start these accountability groups because I think like connections are the best thing that we can have, especially because we can share ideas. We can also support each other, right? And that's what we want with these accountability groups. That is the goal. And we want to make sure you guys can connect and that you guys will be able to share those ideas. And also, there is something that I want to bring, and is your talent. For example, there is a participant in Silver Club. She makes perfumes, right? And maybe we can start bringing those ideas and asking them to tell us how they do their classes, how they use making perfumes to get people. Any idea that you guys want to share here is welcome. Okay, so the accountability groups are going to be very simple. So again, you are going to be supporting each other, sharing ideas. You guys are going to challenge each other, right? Because if there is not a challenge, just go with the flow. We don't want that. We want you guys to challenge each other and to set up goals with each other. And you guys can follow up and, check on each other. How am I doing? If I'm having problems, if I'm not getting enrollments, let's connect. As you guys learned in the leadership retreat, this is about connections. We need those connections. We need to celebrate each other's wins and just get to know each other, okay? I'm going to be facilitating. That's all that I'm going to be doing for these groups, okay? There are no leaders in this group. You guys are in the group. You guys decide how you want to participate. You guys decide if you want to do a Facebook group, if you want to have a text group, WhatsApp, a phone or video call, Zoom, whatever you guys want, okay? But again, please connect, get to know each other. And if you guys are not on the Facebook group, you should be, okay? If you need that information, you send me an email to silverclub@doterra.com and I'll send you the information about the Silver Club Facebook group, okay? And just check. If somebody got their 5 enrollments, go and celebrate with them. If somebody's having trouble getting enrollments, share some ideas, Believe me, connections are so important, are going to help you so much that whenever you get that, how we call that? It's not a writer's block, but it's like a essential oils class block, right? You guys can start sharing those ideas and you'll see this is going to be great, okay? Now, as I told you guys, we have with us Mike Allen. He's the business development director, and you guys can ask as many questions you want, okay? So let's take advantage of this opportunity. He knows a lot about the business. So let's see if Mike is with us already. Mike, are you here?
Jair, how's it going?
Hey, Mike. Well, some of you guys already know Mike, right? And Mike, do you want to take it from here? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jair. Thanks for the invitation to hop on this call. For sure. It sounds like we got a little echo when I talk, Jair. So maybe I'm wondering if you can mute your microphone. I want to see if I still hear that echo.
Oh,
good?
Okay. Because I'm actually in an office, not next to you right now.
Oh, okay. It's just coming through, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So good to see a lot of familiar faces on this call. I see a few people that I've worked with before in the past. I see some others that I'm going to meet here in the next week or so, and others who have signed up for Reclaim Your Health events, some Build a Retreat events. So it's good to see a lot of familiar faces on this call. Jair asked me to hop on, and by the way, Jair and everyone on the call, I would love to join as many of these calls as I possibly can. I think some of my travel during spring tour may get in the way of that a little bit. But I would love to continue to collaborate on this call. I'm curious, and maybe somebody can chime in. I've got a question for the group here. Curious what your favorite part of Leadership Retreat was. We did a few things that were new this year. And so I'm curious what the group has to say. What was your favorite part? So chime in the chat maybe, or unmute yourself and let us know what your favorite part was.
the breakout sessions. Wait a minute, I'm gonna say it all wrong. It was the last day when we actually had the roundtable discussions, sorry. That was the absolute best, being able to talk to some 2.0 builders and leaders about how they got started and how they got to where they were. They great ideas. It was wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Debbie. That was actually my favorite
Mhm.
too, and I was hoping somebody would
Mhm.
say that
Mhm.
because it seems to be pretty evident in the chat as well. Speaking with the founders, roundtable discussions, mastermind, that was something we tried new this year, and it really went over well. I look at it as one of the facilitators of that session as, oh, there's so many things that we could do better next year. But I really do feel that there was a lot of benefit from that mastermind session. And I think this is kind of the purpose for today's call, as well as these calls going forward, is to share what's working. What not only to share what's working, but let's network with each other, and let's use this as a real networking opportunity beyond Silver Club to collaborate with each other. And so this may be at a much smaller scale than what we had at Leadership Retreat, but I feel like there's a lot of value and benefit that can be gained from there. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite part as well. Hal Elrod, yes, that was amazing. Everyone on this call should be able to access Hal Elrod's training calls that were scheduled. I think they're scheduled April, May, June, if I'm not mistaken. But it's part of the higher, what do we call those? It's the peak performance call. If you're not signed up with that, contact Higher, contact myself. You should be clued into those peak performance calls, because Hal Elrod is going to hop in and he's going to do some training with all of us, which is awesome. I think if you attended Leadership Retreat either virtually or in person, you should be able to get on that. So okay, I'm going to share my screen. Hi, Eric, can you give me, oh, actually, I'm just going to cut yours off here. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Can you guys give me a thumbs up? Maybe Debbie, you're on my screen. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? We good? Jair asked me just to introduce myself. If you were on a call last Friday, we did a region call for the Northeast region. This may be a little redundant, but I want to make sure everybody knows what the business development team as a whole does and how we can be a resource for you. And then we'll turn it back over to Jair, and we can start the masterminding, which is what I'm looking forward to. But business development, what do we do? What's our main goal? If I were to really put this into a few words, we're not the ones that are doing the sales here at corporate, but we want to enable you to be able to be better at what you do best, and that's share doTERRA products. And so if we can do that with enabling you to have more access to just business materials, trainings, opportunities to collaborate like we're doing on this call, we want to be there for you. So our business development team consists of our account managers, our business development manager, who is Houston Trent, and then myself. And we're here to help you succeed. And in short, we're here to help you grow your business. We are doing that in a few different ways this year. One of our strategies is to build upon what we did last year with the Reclaim Your Health events. We had so much success with those Reclaim Your Health events. Don't quote me on this. I was looking at a statistic today. I think it was like somewhere around 1,400, maybe close to 1,500 Reclaim Your Health events last fall. Now, if we look at how we would usually do spring tour, like as a business development department, we would usually go out in the fall and we would rent a hotel space and we would bring some products with us and we'd have a few corporate speakers, right? And then we would be able to reach maybe on average 200 to 300 people for each event. And each region we'd get like 5 events, right? So across the whole US, we're looking at about 20 to 25 events with a couple hundred people attending those events, right? With the Reclaim Your Health, we enabled you as the leader to host your event, and we would support it. Now, we did attend some of those events, but most of those events were just you supporting
Amor, yo acá
the
tenía,
event on
en ese
your own.
bolso tenía 2 cables.
And if we can, just make sure everyone's muted there. But yeah, we would support you in those events, but most of those events were put on by you. And the amount of success, the amount of momentum that created, it helped us game plan for 2024 that, yes, we'll definitely keep Reclaim Your Health events. But we also want to start these builder retreats and help enable more business conversations with your team. So as you're doing Silver Club, be thinking about, some business conversations you can have. If you do an official builder retreat or not, we definitely want you to do some type of activities with those on your team to help them grow. This journey of Silver Club will help you grow a lot, not just in rank, but as a leader. And we want you to help develop the next generation of leaders on your team as well. So what do I do as a business development director? My job is really to be an advocate for you. If it's being an advocate for you in Silver Club, if it's being an advocate for you with somebody, someone else here at corporate, like a different department, like placements, or really to help you be that bridge between what you're doing in corporate, that's my responsibility. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to see many of you as I travel this spring at various events. We want to make sure that we're uplifting and providing any type of support that we possibly can to help you continue to grow your business. I like to think of myself as like part of SEAL Team 6. Now, I don't want to give myself that much credit. SEAL Team 6 is awesome, right? But the point of that is to say, to really narrow in and focus on a relationship with you and your team, and be the person at corporate that knows the most about what's going on and all the intricacies that are and issues that are coming up on your team, and to be able to help you navigate that. Really, if I were to say that in a nutshell, that's my my job and my purpose. So with that, I am super excited to answer any questions, to mastermind with you. I'll turn it back over to Jair as we kick off the masterminding session.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate having you here. And yes, we are going to be very happy having you every time we have these calls. So you guys, for you guys to understand what we are doing, we are going to have these calls, but we are going to be doing them on different times, because some of you guys can do it in the afternoon, right? Some of you guys can do it in the morning. So we want everybody to feel included. So 1 week we will do it in the afternoon. The next one, maybe we'll do it around 11 in the morning when the other ones can attend, right? But we are going to be sharing the same ideas. Okay. That said, what questions do you guys have for Mike? Like this is the opportunity. Okay, so let's start asking him questions. So unmute yourselves and let's go.
I have a question, and I've seen it come up a number of times in different Facebook type groups, is with having the enrollments. I saw that there was a possibility they were considering renewal enrollments for people that have been off the grid for a long time. Is this something that's still being considered, or is this something that's off the table for now?
When you say renewal enrollments, are you talking about like a reactivation where we
Yes.
waive the renewal fee?
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's something that we have in place right now. Certainly there's a lot of discussion as to whether we implement that, right? Like last year we implemented a waived enrollment. And so now we have a whole group of people who didn't experience any entry into doTERRA with an enrollment fee. Their renewal period is coming up. What do we do about them? Does it make sense to look at that? Certainly there's a lot of conversations going on, but nothing official yet. As far as a reactivation, I mean, if this person that is being reactivated hasn't ordered in I think the date was since 2018. We basically in 2018 we went from the old ordering system to our current ordering system, and we didn't migrate those accounts that were inactive, and so those can re-enroll. But that's basically a conversation with your account manager. Now I will say this too, for everyone on the call, you all have access to an account manager, okay? Because you're doing Silver Club, even if you're not a silver, typically rank of silver would be entry into our business development department where you have access to a dedicated account manager. But because you're doing Silver Club, we want to strategize with you on a one-on-one basis. And that can be done through our account management team. And you can also connect with them on questions like this as well. But yeah, in short, to answer your question, renewals will be renewals. They do have the renewal fee. Sell the benefits of the peppermint oil that comes with the renewal. I would also say this too, anyone doing Silver Club, I would hope that you sign up for as many Reclaim Your Health Tier 1 events that you possibly can. Go to tour.doterra.com and then click on Reclaim Your Health, and let's double up on the promos, right? So for Silver Club Hire, please remind me, what are we giving away is kind of like a benefit for enrollment for the enrollee for enrolling with the Silver Club promo code. We're giving away an oil or something, right?
You mean the incentive?
For the new enrollee as they enroll with Silver Club.
Yeah, they get the Lavender Touch.
Lavender Touch.
For
What we
100
want
PV.
to promote is sign up for a Reclaim Your Health event and make your Silver Club enrollee reap the benefits of the free Lavender Touch this month. But also, we have a promo code on the Healthy Habits Kit, right? So you're kind of doubling up on the offer there for your new enrollee. So just encourage everybody to do that. It's kind of off the question, but thought I'd throw that out there. I'm curious to hear what approach we can share with each other as to, this is month 1. We're starting week 3 of Silver Club. What are you doing so far that seems to be working in 2024 as we're talking with people who are interested in doTERRA and Natural Solution? Curious to hear, and let's share with each other maybe what do you feel like is working as we got started. Maybe it can be like, yeah, I prepared a lot in February for Silver Club, and and now I'm reaping those benefits of that preparation. Curious to hear maybe what that preparation may have been. What is it that you're doing that's helping you succeed these first 3 weeks?
I would say a lot of follow-up on things that have been brewing for a long time. Somebody that I've been trying to get for about 2 years now is finally ready to pull the trigger. So for those of you who are frustrated, you just keep on going, because whatever you're doing now is planting seeds for something that's going to happen down the road.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't happen during Silver Club, which is frustrating, I get it, but follow up. And what was the other thing I said, Judy? We put a lot of events on the calendar in February. We have them spread out over March, April, and May. Unfortunately, most of them are in May, so I hope we're still in Silver Club at that point. I'm confident we will be, but still, you never know. Yeah, just keep on keeping on. I don't know. I lost my thought. I had something else in my head.
If it doesn't happen the way that you think it should happen, just move forward anyway. Have that tantrum 5-minute, tantrum fit, and then just move forward.
Yeah, hell Elrod, can't change it. You get 5 minutes and then move on.
I love it.
I hope that helps.
So follow up, yeah, and what I'm hearing too is consistency.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of others who have kind of been through this journey say, when I planned for a class and nobody showed up, I still held the class anyway to help myself with my presentation, right? I would do it in the mirror, and I would just kind of still do the class, even if it was just me, and kind of grade myself so I can be better prepared next week. But that kind of kept kept them in the mode of teaching. So I love that.
And
You
and a
know-
quick funny story, we had a class today that had a pre-enroll, QR code scan in and enroll here or sign up to attend here. Only one person signed up and we're like, should we even do it? You know, whatever. But we did, and she brought a friend. We didn't know she was going to bring a friend. This friend has never experienced doTERRA before and is so excited now. She can't wait to get started. So you never know.
Mhm. Hey, Mike, at the beginning of the call, we were just talking about things that we, Silver Club participants were doing to get more enrollments. And Diane, you mentioned something about getting out of your comfort zone. It would be nice to hear from you about that. What you have done to get you out of your comfort zone to get new enrollments.
So since I'm still so new to building with doTERRA, I had only been doing classes in person. And, you know, in my small little town, I felt like I was just kind of exhausting or bothering the same people all the time, like, hey, come on. So I started to just do them online and to do some Zoom classes and kind of narrowing my classes on different focuses. Still kind of almost running it as a one-on-one, but kind of focused. So I run a couple that were like mom and little classes of how to help your kids and your families. And I've had a lot of people coming to that because people have an hour to Zoom, but they may not have an hour to come to a class and they can stay in their home. So that's been great. I've got some good attendance and contacts there. I've got a hot mess hormone class coming up at the end of the week. I've got a couple times on there for that. And my husband's actually helping me put together a couple workshops that we're presenting at a couple of our local breweries around the area to do like hops and health wellness, so that we can kind of go to the breweries and talk about, you know, various things like LLV and MetaPower and some of those different systems and working it into, you know, I don't know, pairing it with beers or something. I think we're still working on those kinks. We've got a presentation tomorrow to see if we can get a couple of dates put on the calendar for that, which is a little bit definitely out of my comfort zone. I can speak all day about, you know, medical stuff, but this has been good to kind of get out there and do some of those things. But I've been trying to narrow down my classes on more specific topics. I did a couple online Facebook group classes for like pain. We ran one on pain. We ran one for like sort of stress and anxiety to help people with that. So I had more people interested on that specific thing, I think, because they could pick out of there and say, hey, I've got some stress. I think I might learn something, or I've got some issues with sleep. So that's been pretty good to get out of my just comfort zone of thinking I just need to have a one-on-one class.
Hi, Eric, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to share that part because I thought it was interesting. So keep going, guys. Keep asking questions. Let's take advantage. The mic is here with us, so this is the time to ask questions or to share.
I have a quick question. My understanding is that enrollments outside the US and Canada don't count for Silver Club. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Brr. Why? Is there a reason why?
Oh, it's because they have their own programs. Yeah, for example, Europe, they have their own Diamond Club. Latin America, Mexico, they have their own Diamond Club. So, and Silver Club, not just Diamond Club, sorry. So they have their own programs.
Yeah, I would just to add to that, I'd say most of our programs are like that. With it being a US run program, we want to incentivize growth in the US market. We look at the US market just in terms of corporate as being like what holds doTERRA together, right? And the stronger the US market is, the stronger we can support other markets' growth. And so you'll see that with like the incentive trip. We just saw it with Founders 2.0. And certainly with Diamond Club, Silver Club. Really, these are programs to help incentivize growth in your local area. I would also say too, is these programs are, we can think of them as like an enrollment program, and in some ways Silver Club is, and we're always looking for feedback to make these programs better. And we're looking at Diamond Club, you know, at ways we can make Diamond Club more of a program that's not like heavily enrollment based, but more of like, how can we make this something that grows your team? And like I said before, one of my jobs in business development is to help you develop not only as a leader, but then help you develop your qualifiers and your team into leaders as well. Because the stronger we are as a group, we can move a lot quicker. And so I'll just say that the stronger we are as a US market, we're able to really be a lot more efficient in helping the rest of the world grow and receive these awesome products that we have. Hope that helps. I'd love to hear what else is working. What else is working for people 3 weeks in?
So I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
Okay. All right. So if I'm considering of trying to do like more Zoom calls instead of like I do a lot of one-on-ones, but I was looking back in the DMK, you guys have like little like short little videos, like are those okay to do? Like I know I should make it my own, but what has worked for everybody else whenever they do the Zoom calls? Or not Zoom calls, but like do the Zoom classes.
So my Zoom classes so far have been, you know, kind of based on 101. I have a little PowerPoint that I've kind of adapted. I've taken some of the slides that I found on doTERRA and some from my team's website, and just kind of adapted it to that specific issue. So I talk a little bit briefly about, just like I would in a class, you know, what's doTERRA, what are oils, how do we use things, and then we kind of dive into the specifics of whatever I've been teaching about. I kind of keep it pretty brief. Usually it's like 30 minutes, and then we chat about different things. But I've taken those slides from a couple different places and adapted it. I've even been using a stick figure lately, with circles and areas on different parts of the body, and have people on Zoom like, hey, draw your stick figure. So we're going to talk from head to toe. You know, anybody having issues with sleep, let's talk about that. Anybody having issues with digestive, you know, circle that belly part on your stick figure. And it kind of keeps them engaged instead of seeing them walking around their house or doing some other stuff.
All right. So another thing is too, so like you would put your information, say if they're new and you don't really know the person too well, would you like have like a QR code ready or just your website and say, here, go on here? Sometimes people are new to signing up and they're not sure how to go about doing that. Like, is there an easier way that I can just say, here you go? This is where you can order what I've talked about today, or if they want to mix and match pieces, or just have a conversation with them after. I don't want to like say after because they might not be engaged as much as right now if they're on the class.
I know for me, at least, I've sent like link generators. So after a class, you know, if my class is late at night, like I've got a late one tonight, I'll connect with them the next morning because it is usually pretty late. And, you know, chat about what did we chat about? What are things that they need? And then I've used my link generator and I send them that link with my promo code in there for Silver Club. But for the things that they've chatted about, like, oh, I really want this or really want that, instead of just giving them like my refer a friend code or something. I make them their cart. That way they have more specific. Sometimes I put more in there and tell them, you know, if there's other things that you want, let me know. I can help you figure out how to add it or take it away. But it's given them a little bit more of a concise and not getting so overwhelmed on the website.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do the same thing when I do my Zoom classes afterwards. I make them generate them a link. We go over exactly what I suggest for them, and then I just tell them, you know, I want them to fit their budget. So if this doesn't, obviously I want them to hit the 100 so it counts for Silver Club, but I tell them, if it is too much for them to let me know. And so we kind of talk through what would be the most important for them. So if they, need to trim it down, what I would recommend for them to start first. And then, we kind of go from there. So that's kind of what I do too.
You don't mind if I hop in and there was a question that came in from Carolyn Pennington. I thought was really cool. Would you encourage a 21-year-old male, or sorry, how would you encourage a 21-year-old male who is a new builder and has a small circle and making new contacts? I have suggested joining a gym. Any other suggestions? I'm not quite sure about like how to grow the contacts, but I wanted to share some information that I thought is really pertinent to that demographic of Gen Z, right? So let me share my screen real quick here. All right, so I came across this survey from Deloitte where they interviewed Gen Z and millennials, and it was super interesting. They asked them, what are your top 3 concerns in life right now, right? Like, given the economic conditions that we're in, and just kind of being maybe behind the game a little bit with not having established income, housing, and all that like that. They said, what are your top 3 concerns? It was interesting what they said. Number 1, they said, was healthcare, but they specifically called out disease prevention. I thought that was really interesting. Okay. Number 2 was unemployment or underemployment. I mean, they're graduating right now from high school and college with having a hard time finding an employment opportunity that's going to match the level of expenses that are required. I remember I graduated college in 2009, right after the Great Recession, and I was like, oh my goodness, like it was so hard finding a job. So I can kind of relate to what they're going through right now, but still a challenge with inflation. And I've got a nephew in college, and he's sharing. This is crazy. He's not sharing a house with 3 other guys. He's sharing a room with 3 other guys, and he's paying $500 a month for just one shared room. He doesn't even get his own room. I just can't believe it. So the third thing that they surveyed and said were the top 3 concerns was protecting the environment, right? This generation, if you're working with Gen Z, especially millennials, but Gen Z especially, they are really concerned about things that have to deal with protecting the environment. I think they call them, they basically shop they make shopping decisions according to the company and how well they support these initiatives. And so I'm looking at these 3 things right here, and I'm like, okay, doTERRA matches all of these, right? Our doTERRA Wellness and Lifestyle Pyramid fits perfectly with, we have solutions for what their number 1 concern is with healthcare. Our business opportunity, right, fits their employment and underemployment. And then our sustainability efforts with co-impact sourcing and all the good that we do with Healing Hands, but specifically when they understand the power of co-impact sourcing and what that does for these small scale farmers, that's the exact thing that they are looking for in terms of their shopping habits, right? They want something that's going to produce real change and real difference in the world. Another survey for Gen Z that I found that really fits with doTERRA is in this other article. 1 in 4 Gen Z respondents reported feeling more emotionally distressed than their millennial and Gen X respondents. And so they're really struggling mentally as well. And I can't imagine with their top 3 concerns that's going to weigh on them, right? This is McKinsey research, by the way. But specifically, they pointed out that as these young adults work to develop their resilience, Gen Zers may seek out a holistic approach to the health that they have come to expect. So not only are their top three concerns, their top concern of the top three is healthcare, but they're specifically seeking out a holistic approach. So I just found that data to be super relevant to that question that Carolyn had, and would love any thoughts, or if anyone has anything that they can share with related to that. But I just thought that I'd share that with the group.
That's kind of neat. We are working on, we've been doing some hands-on, some DIYs to show how to use our oils in cleaning supplies and when you're cooking, and just stepping it up in other areas. But that's pretty neat. The Gen Z is probably a group that I've not really gotten to yet, but that is key. We're getting a lot of people that are coming and interested in the DIYs and how to incorporate the oils in other parts of their life, as well as, because we always start with the health benefits. And so that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure we did.
I love it. Thanks for sharing.
I've really been trying to focus a lot on, I have 3 girls, and I've really been trying to focus a lot on their friends and their moms, as right now skincare is so popular in their generation, and it is just so incredible to me that these moms will just walk into Ulta, Sephora, all these high-end places and drop hundreds of dollars on skincare and not even think twice, but they have to second guess, spending $92 on a whole skincare set from us. So just really, trying to focus. My girls have even made like really cool reels for me for Facebook. And they love all of doTERRA stuff. My youngest has really sensitive skin, so she really can only wear doTERRA stuff without like her whole face breaking out. So yeah, I definitely would encourage you to look at just, our skincare, our body care, and kind of the middle school, early high school ages, that is really popular right now with our young girls.
I love it. That's awesome. Hire, I hope you're okay if I'm I'm interested in the chat and some of these questions that are coming in.
Yeah, don't worry, Mike. They are this is incredible. You guys are interacting, you guys are connecting. This is working. So keep going, Mike.
Yeah, I love this question from Glee. Having classes scheduled before Silver Club, well, not a question, it was just really a comment. Having classes scheduled before Silver Club started was key for me. And I think that's so important. Maybe as we're coming up on like a few more minutes left in this call, Hire, maybe if it's okay, we talk about what are we doing for April? What are we doing now, March 18th, to prepare for April? I think Glee called out something that's hugely important for the success of these type of programs. When we talk about, again, this being an enrollment-based program, yes, it's true. But if you really want to take this to the next level and develop your team, getting your team involved in planning classes and events for April and into May is hugely key. It does a couple of things. And we saw this before COVID when we did Diamond Club, and the way Diamond Club was structured before COVID, it was, hey, you got to travel outside of your location. You got to go out more than 50 miles. And that really forced leaders to work with each other, specifically their younger builders on their team, to help them schedule classes. And that not only helped them succeed in Diamond Club, but what we found was that helped them really fortify their teams, because it put a lot of responsibility on their downline to help them plan for and execute the classes that they were traveling to. So if we were planning for April, what can we do to get our downline and our team members involved in that planning, and then hold them accountable and responsible for the class, right, that we're planning? Because you're going to go out and you're going to teach a class with your downline. That was so key. Yeah, Glee, you've got your hand raised. Go ahead and if you got anything to add, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, this is something actually, I've been in doTERRA a long time, and I was never as organized as I am now for Silver Club. So I think I just took the advantage of what was said in terms of preparing for Silver Club, which was get your events ready, put them into the portal, like have them ready, have a class for people to be entered, your attendees to be entered to, so that you are ready to rock and roll. And if something else comes down the pike, great, you can enter that as well. But and like I said, this is not something that I normally do. I kind of go by the seat of my pants. And I did run into an event on Saturday. I was supposed to have a young mom's event, just kind of like oils for the family, for young families. And I was supposed to have 5 or 6 people there, and 1 person showed up. So I didn't have to worry about it, because I could just brush myself off. It was okay. We had a fantastic conversation. She and her husband are into oils, so it's very exciting. But what that did is I didn't worry, and I didn't stew over it. I just moved on. All right, time to get ready for the next event, right? And I actually am overseas right now, but I'm getting back, and 2 days later, I have a big event at my local yoga studio. We're doing a big DIY of green cleaning. So, I think the key for me, I mean, I'm not saying, everybody else might react differently, but I used to get down on myself and just kind of be like, oh, you know what, you're not really cut out for this. If I had an event where nobody showed up to it, and I didn't have something else planned, that was the key. So I think having things planned, and I have things planned to the end of May. I don't have a lot, but I have 4 events planned every month. And that allows me time to plug in some things in case there's a hostess who wants to invite or wants to have an event. So it has been a game changer. It really has been. And I was like, some will, some won't. So what? Keep moving forward, not going to worry about it. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in worth, which I think might be helpful to somebody on the call.
So I have a comment here too, and it's nice to see someone who's a little older like me joining in here. Thank you very much. But someone was very helpful holding doors for me one day as I was carrying boxes out of an event. And I stopped back in the restaurant and talked to them. And they suggested that I contact the social center, our senior center. And so I contacted the senior center here in my town, and they were delighted, but they set me up for the last day of April because their March calendars were already full. And so then I contacted another one in the next town over, and they were also thrilled to have these presentations. One of the things that I found about, and this may help some of you, that I was taught a long time ago, is when you have people signed up for an event, you contact them, excuse me, the day before. And then about a couple of hours before the event, you send them a text. You don't call them again, because that gives them a chance to say, oh, I can't come. But if you send them a text saying how excited you are to see them and that you have something for them at the event, well, then they pretty much, they're a lot more likely to show up. Okay. And so I found that cut down on some of the no-shows, at these events. Just my thoughts on it.
I love it, Rita. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
My question is, when you're doing either your online classes, whether it's going to be a Zoom or an in-person, in-home type class, How do you get your invites out? Where do you find your people?
Debbie, I found that some of the libraries are more than happy to let you put up a flyer or to add something into their newsletter. The senior center that I was just, one of the ones I was just talking about, the woman who's in charge of the events there was willing to do up a flyer to post on her board. I want to go back with a sign up sheet for it, but they scheduled it on the days that they had the most people coming in, which was, good for me. The question I have for everyone is, I've had a couple of classes, but and wonderfully enough, I've wound up with what do you call it? Customers, but no enrollees. And bribe them as much as I could. I still could not. And so, yes. So my question is, what do you do to get these people to go from one to the other?
The
Any
sign up.
thoughts on that, anybody? I'm probably not the best person to ask on that.
Has anybody done any vendor events, and how do they collect names?
I've done a lot of online vendor events. I've actually pretty much built my whole team online. I have a lot of serious health issues, so I haven't done a lot of in-person things, so I do a lot of online events. And usually what you have to do is each vendor has to invite 20 to 30 people. And so if there's 20 vendors and you're all adding that many people, then there's going to be quite a few people. And I've gained quite a few customers that way. And then of course, they have family members and they refer them to me and so on and so forth. So it can be a very positive thing.
I'd like more information on how you do online vendor events. I've done a few in-person vendor events, and what I do at all of my classes and at any kind of an event is I have a form they fill out with their contact information, and then kind of some of the top issues they would be interested in learning about. And I have a container that I put out for them to put them in for a drawing. And so then one of the oils that I've gotten for product of the month or something like that can be the prize for the drawing. And a lot of people are really interested in getting something for free and getting, winning something. So that has been a good way for me to get contact information. And especially for people who wind up at a class, then you have their information for follow-up.
A friend of mine at vendor events, she has a sign up with A, B, C, D, E, F, and it says A for pain, B for sleep, C for, she just has the different categories where you would get an oil sample for each of those items. So, for sleep, you'd get a sample of lavender or serenity, and for pain, you get a sample of deep blue. And she has them text A, B, C, D, text the letter, their name and the letter to her in order to get their sample. So she gets the contact info right then and there in her phone, and they get a sample for texting.
That's a great idea. I like that. Thank you for sharing, Anne. My upline does a ton of vendor events. Now, my whole team is based out in California. My good friend lives out there and she got me started, and I'm in New York, so we're on opposite coasts. But so in California, there's vendor events all year long. And they seem to be a little less expensive than out here. I'm finding that they're expensive, so I have a hard time doing a lot of them, but it's really good to try and find larger events. I'm in Rockland County, New York, which is 30 minutes northwest of New York City. And the Nyack Street Fair I do a few times a year, and it's huge. But she also got me, I don't know, can you see it okay? This is like one of those felt pegboard kind of things, and I have this set up on a little easel with a sign-up sheet underneath it. And then I also started doing raffles as well, where they have to fill out. I just use the like door prize cards, like the tear off sheets. I use them as the raffle, and that's been helpful. Now I do get a lot of names, and a lot of people are a bust, and you know, but for every, what is it, for every 100 names you get 5 people or something like that. You know, I mean, I don't remember what the numbers are, but it's true. This is truly a numbers game. And you know, I put out to 100 people, and I expect, you know, I'm not expecting them all. I shouldn't say that. I would love to have them all, but in reality, I know I'm not going to get them all. And I'm happy with the people that I do get. And I have noticed that putting myself out there and being at these events, there's people that call me a year later, sometimes 2 years later. I have a woman that called me because she wanted lavender, and she didn't want an account. She didn't want to do anything. She just wanted lavender. And I had some bottles at my booth, full bottles. So I sold her a lavender oil. And I put a little sticker on every single thing that I give to people. It's a little sticker that has my name and my phone number on it. And she called me 2 years later, and I enrolled her. And I got her on the LLVs, and the only oil she uses is lavender, but she's taking vitamins too. So it's planting a seed. It doesn't always grow fruit right away, or at all sometimes, but never give up on people. And I was, you know, I struggle with that too, but I keep pushing on, and I keep pushing on, and it is what it is. And I try not to waste too much time on those that seem to be wasting my time. It's just a matter of weeding out. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. That is actually amazing. And you guys, I can't believe how amazing this meeting has been. The amount of ideas that you guys are sharing, that chat is burning. You guys are connecting. You guys are sharing great ideas. So this was the right call. Just to let you know, guys, our region is the only one that is doing this. So if somebody outside of our region asks you, don't tell them, because they are gonna be, how come we are not doing this? You know? So I decided to bring this to our region because, look, you guys are connecting. You know, this is not just about your little group, you know? This is about sharing and getting to know each other. And I hope you can, at convention, you'll see, guys, you're gonna have so many friends at convention. You are gonna be taking selfies, and it's gonna be great. So yes, let's keep doing this. And again, some of the calls are going every Monday. Whoever wants to join, we are going to be doing this. Okay? And we are going to do some of them in the morning and some of them at this time. So everybody has the chance to share ideas. If you want to be in both, hey, go for it. More ideas that you can get, right? So this has been great, guys. Thank you to Mike. He had to go to another meeting, and it was great having him. And you know, guys, we have the business development director with us. That's great, you know, because as he said, he's in the business side and he's getting things going. Now, do you guys hear the update about connections and classes? Okay, if you haven't heard about it, it's very simple. Before, you had to have video for a class. And guess what? Now, if you enroll somebody just talking over the phone, that counts.
Hey,
If you post something in Instagram, even you dancing with an oil on TikTok, and you get an enrollment through that, that counts as an enrollment because it's a connection. Okay? So before it was like, no, you can't do phone calls. No. Even on chat, on Facebook, if you're doing a chat, that is a connection, right? So there are so many things that you guys can do now. You can post something on Facebook, on Instagram, and whoever you get from that, even though there was no video, it still counts. Okay, there is only one condition. Do not put your promo code. Okay, you can't just send your promo code to everybody and use this code and enroll. No. Okay, because then they have to reach out to you, and you have to give them the promo code, right? But if you get the enrollment that way, that counts. Now you have so many ways to do this. And there is going to be a call. It's going to be a general call where they are going to explain this better. But now, yes, you can put a recording of you. You got someone, that counts. So that is great. Okay, so it has been great. Today, I think it was a success. We did awesome. You guys were sharing and connecting. Okay, all of those connections on the chat, it was amazing. I want to connect. Great. Okay, we have Rita's. Okay, let's answer Rita's question to conclude.
So question here with these Zoom calls, is there a way to save the chat? I mean, we can get the recording on this, but there was some great questions and suggestions in the chat.
Do you guys want the script?
You can
What?
save the chat if you go
Yes.
down to the bottom and you see the 3 little dots.
Yes,
Just click on that. And it
okay.
says save the chat.
Perfect.
Boom.
Thank you.
And then when you close out
Okay.
of the meeting, a window will pop up with where the chat is located on your
Yes,
computer.
and if you can't get it, just let me know and I'll send it to you. By the way, guys, some of you guys, I saw in the chat that some of the guys did, some of the leaders didn't get the invite. So I did send the email to everybody who responded that wanted to be in an accountability group. We are not forcing anyone. Whoever wants to be here and learn and share is welcome. But I got a lot of people who already have an accountability club and they didn't want to be on these ones. So it's fine. But if you guys run into any question, anyone who wants to be in an accountability club, group, ask them to send me an email to silverclub@doterra.com and we'll add them. Okay? So thank you guys for being here. I'm telling you, this was great. You guys did awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, and let's keep going, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. And just one more thing, remember Glee, when you started, we had a little chat and Glee was like, I don't know. It's like, and look at Glee, Glee's doing amazing, right? And that's how it is, guys. It's gonna go up and down, but hey, you keep going. We still have half of a month to go. If you haven't gotten your enrollment year yet, just keep going. Don't give up. It's not the end, okay? And keep in touch with me. You run into any issues, I'm here to help you. Okay? Thank you guys for your time. And this was amazing. Bye.
Thank you, Jair.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you
Jair.
so
Thanks,
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Arrivederci.
Bye, Glee.
Yeah.
Hi, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Did you say it's every Monday at this time?
We are gonna do some of them on Mondays. Yeah, every Monday, but we are gonna do some of them in the morning and some of them around 6 p.m. your time. So everybody has the chance. And maybe we may change from Monday to Tuesday, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna be asking you guys, we had this one today, it's because most of you guys were okay with this time. But I want to take everybody into consideration and I want everybody to have the same chance to be here. And we are gonna have the recording, so yay.
Can I ask another
appreciate
question?
that.
Yes.
So my other question, Jair, is I had an event yesterday and I wound up signing up 3 people, but I understand that I have to email that information to you. Is that correct?
No, you just need to, you enter them on a class, right?
Yeah, I registered the class in Silver Club. And now I can go back there and add them as enrollments?
Yes.
Oh,
You can
okay.
add them. Just guys, make sure to enter the same email. If you enter one email and they go and register, enroll with a different email, the system won't link it. Okay? So make sure it's the same email, the same one they are using to enroll.
Okay.
And if you run into anything, guys, remember, it's not the end of the world. I'm here. I'm your support. I'm here with you. We are a team, and I'm going to help you as much as I can.
Jair, I found the 3 dots, but for my life, I couldn't figure out what to punch to get that.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send everybody the recording and the script.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank
can
you.
have it, okay?
That's great. And I appreciate you doing this in the evening too, because I do work a full-time job and most of the calls are during the day with doTERRA and it's so hard to get on them because my job is demanding too. So it's so difficult for me to get on them. If they're not recorded, I miss them. So I appreciate this more than you know.
Yes, this, as I told you guys, this has been amazing. The amount of ideas, it was just crazy. It was amazing. So, okay. So any other questions?
One other comment, Jair, about the library thing. I was told by by 2 libraries that I couldn't sell anything because that's part of their program, but I can come in and teach and I can collect all the people's information I want to. So they may
Yes.
not, you may not get actual sales at them, but you certainly can get follow-ups.
Yes, you can get the connections. That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Rita.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? We are leaving. Okay,
Thank you again.
guys. Bye. Nice to see
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Jair.
Bye.
Bye. We love you, Jair. You're wonderful.
I love you too, guys. You guys are amazing.